Artificial intelligence is already changing how we work, how we communicate, and maybe one day, how we survive as a species. But here's the twist. While the world still argues over how to regulate AI, one country is stepping forward with a plan to lead the charge: China. Beijing wants to build something called the World Artificial Intelligence Cooperation Organization, or WACO, and if it succeeds, it could reshape the balance of power in technology for decades. So, why is China pushing for global AI governance? How different is China's approach from the US, Europe, or the rest of the world? And will countries allow China to take the driver's seat on humanity's most powerful technology? Let's break it down. Here's the honest truth. The world still has no unified rules for AI. None. Zero. Countries all have their own patchwork of guidelines, but nothing comes close to a global agreement. And that's strange because the risks of AI are massive. Disinformation, job displacement, AI-driven inequality, autonomous weapons. And yes, even existential risks. We have global treaties for nuclear power, for aviation safety, for climate issues, but for AI? Not yet. Governments are scrambling. Tech companies are moving faster than lawmakers, and citizens barely understand how AI even works. That's the vacuum China wants to fill. At the 2024 Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC meeting, President Xi Jinping doubled down on a proposal: create the World Artificial Intelligence Cooperation Organization. Think of it as a global table where countries could discuss, coordinate, and maybe someday standardize AI rules. China wants WICO's headquarters in Shanghai, a symbolic move sending a clear message. We want to lead the international conversation on AI. This wasn't a one-off proposal. Chinese officials repeated the idea 4 times in 4 months, signaling how serious Beijing is. Why the urgency? Because AI is the engine of China's next economic leap. And also, standards influence. Influence equals power. Just like the US shaped the early internet, China wants to shape the era of intelligent machines. While Western companies like OpenAI and Google race to build superhuman AGI, China is taking a very different path. That means anyone can download, study, and build on top of many Chinese models. This massively accelerates innovation inside the country and abroad. Compare that to the West's closed-source giants. Policies like AI Plus, introduced in August, push companies to embed AI into manufacturing, healthcare, logistics, cities, basically every industry. The message: use AI to grow the economy now, not chase hypothetical AGI in the future. China was one of the first countries to create AI-specific regulations back in 2022. All public-facing AI must be tested by government regulators before release. That includes massively popular models like DeepSeek's R1. Ironically, some experts say Chinese AI models are among the most regulated in the world. Yet enforcement tends to be flexible, allowing companies to innovate without fear of heavy punishment. It's regulation with a velvet glove. America has basically no federal AI law. And in January, President Trump revoked an AI safety executive order, signaling a pro-industry, anti-regulation stance. He even suggested adding rules to block states from regulating AI too strictly. For US policymakers, AI is a geopolitical weapon. If you regulate it, you slow it down, and China gets ahead. The EU has the world's most structured AI rules. They classify systems by risk level: high risk, medium, low. If you build a high-risk model, you must meet transparency, documentation, and oversight obligations. Some rules already kicked in this year. The UK had plans to lead AI governance globally, and then postponed its legislation. They're effectively in a holding pattern. China regulates heavily. The US barely regulates at all. Europe regulates aggressively. The rest of the world adjusts to survive. This fragmentation is exactly why Beijing sees an opening. Very little. The only legally binding treaty is from the Council of Europe, not the EU, created in 2024. It requires countries to ensure AI aligns with human rights, but there's no enforcement, no punishment, no global AI police. Everything else is voluntary. UNESCO's AI ethics recommendation, OECD AI principles, the Bletchley Declaration, the UN's advisory body on AI. Nice ideas, no teeth. That's why China believes the world is hungry for structure. If China helps write the global rulebook, Chinese AI products become easier to sell worldwide. Just like how the US set the rules for the internet, Europe shaped global privacy laws. China wants that same standard-setting power. China is positioning itself as the spokesperson for the global South, nations that feel left out of Western tech governance. China's message is, don't let the West dominate AI. We deserve a voice too. It's a soft power play that could win China allies. AI is the new oil. Whoever shapes the rules shapes the future. WICO is at minimum a diplomatic move. At maximum, a geopolitical shift. Experts often compare AI governance to nuclear regulation. You have non-binding standards, voluntary guidelines, plus binding treaties created later. The International Atomic Energy Agency didn't start with power. It grew into it. WICO could follow the same path. Start as a discussion forum, then evolve into a rule-setting body, eventually influence global AI standards. But this depends on one crucial thing. Will the world trust China to lead? Here's the big question. Will WICO succeed? Many countries want global rules but don't want US or EU dominance. China already has advanced AI infrastructure and strict domestic regulation. The Global South may align with China for political and economic reasons. The US will resist any China-led governance body. Other nations may distrust China's motives. Countries are hesitant to give up sovereignty in such a strategic field. Realistically, WICO could become influential but not all-powerful. More like a global AI club, not a global AI government. So here's where we stand. The world desperately needs global AI rules. China is stepping forward with a plan. The US is pushing back, Europe is holding the rulebook, and the rest of the world is caught in the middle. The future of AI governance isn't just about safety, it's about power, economic power, technological power, and geopolitical power. So the real question is, who will write the rulebook for humanity's most important technology? The answer may determine the future of the world. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and tell me. Do you think China should lead AI governance, or should it be someone else?